Yes, they were loaded, man. It's your boy 3-Letter Man. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Y'all see where to follow your boy at. Hit the like button also. I appreciate that. Y'all see the title of this one, man. Let's talk about it. So, has anyone seen or watched Fat Joe and Jada Kiss podcast? I think at least they have 2 or 3 episodes I want to say I've seen. 2 definitely. I might be reaching with a 3rd. But I pretty much watched all the episodes they had, right? Was not expecting to see Fat Joe and Jadakiss enter the podcast world. Maybe I can see Fat Joe more than Jada because Fat Joe was very talkative. He has a lot of vivid stories, whether you think it's BS or what the young kids say, capping and stuff like that. Joe Budden and them got a podcast, Talib Kweli, Nori. So we've seen Jada and Fat Joe on Drink Champs. We've seen Jadakiss on Joe Budden podcast with his father. So to see these two come together and probably feel like, yo, you know, why don't we come together? We're the rappers. We're the people that majority of these podcasters are talking about, right? And listen, Fat Joe and Jadakiss makes sense. Yonkers, Bronx relationship these brothers have. Being in the game for so long, obviously Fat Joe, 2-3 years, has been in the game longer than Kiss probably. But I got to get used to this podcast because I see what's going on. I think at some point, Jadakiss got love for Fat Joe, but I think he looks at Joe Crack sometimes like, all right, bruh, some of your stories is kind of out there and stuff like that. Because you saw, there was one episode when Jazz Chisholm, who played for my New York Yankees, he was on there and Fat Joe made a comment and somebody, I guess, fact-checked what Joe said, came back to be true. Fat Joe's looking at Jadakiss, oh, you always think I'm capping. Well, I'm not capping. And Jada's like, no, I don't think you're capping. So to me, that's the thing where I think Fat Joe is reading the room and reading what people are saying about him when he tells these stories. Listen, man, if there's 2 groups of people that's going to tell you stories and probably throw a spin on it and throw some sauce on it, is Latinos and Caribbean people. Well, same shit, right? My Hispanic folks and Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Haitians, like they're gonna bend the truth a little bit. They're gonna put a little twist on it, especially the old heads that's older than me, right? I gotta get used to this podcast, bro. I gotta get used to it. Gotta get used to it, man, because of the 2 different personalities. Now, the consistency is what I will be looking for with these 2, right? They're gonna have to listen. Do they gotta put a lot of work in? Yes and no. It's Fat Joe and Jada, right? But I'm pretty sure they got schedules. They got Jadakiss probably has feature duties that he has to go to the booth and do that, and take care of certain things he has to take care of. How much time are these guys gonna put into this? We're here in May right now, May 2025. Would you guys, comment boys, help me out. Would you be shocked if Fat Joe and Jadakiss still are doing a podcast together a year from now? And I think with Fat Joe and Jada, and I think we might see this, I would love them to see them do episodes by themselves where they probably tell some of the illest stories known to man and bring guests in. I'm pretty sure 50 can come in there. Joe Budden, we'll get to Joe Budden in a minute. Style, Chic, Angie Martinez, Mary J. Blige, DJ Khaled, Lil Wayne. So they have the power to have people pull up. Now, the thing about the people pulling up is going to be a lot of shucking and jiving, a lot of fake dapping, and they think it's kumbaya. And Joe's going to try to just be a wild extra at times while Kiss is trying to be cool and not say much, right? Kiss, to me, for the most part, looks like he's going to play the back. And Joe is going to be the more talkative one. That's just how it comes off to me right now, right? Now, this is where it gets interesting because they had a conversation about going to sporting events. And we all know at one particular time, 50 Cent and Joe Budden were going back and forth. Joe Budden made a comment about 50. I think it was the time around the Irv Gotti, the death of Irv Gotti. Listen, I had no problem with Joe Budden said about 50 Cent because I did a blog myself. I mean, I'm a nobody. I'm not like Joe Budden, right? But I didn't like the stuff that 50 did towards Irv. And some of you people say, oh, you know, they were ops, some of those stupid shit you young boys want to run with and shit like that. Bro, the man passed away, had some goddamn respect, right? So 50 didn't take lightning to Joe making those type of comments, right? Especially on a big platform that Joe has. Fast forward now, Joe Budden has a situation where he's sleepwalking, you know, whatever situation. You can't let a guy like 50 Cent have that kind of ammunition on you. It's almost like a battle rapper. Like if he has an angle on you, he's gonna run with it. And 50's like that. He's gonna troll you. He's gonna run with that. He doesn't go to the booth anymore like he did at one time when he go to the booth and make records about people if they were doing stuff like this. Because if this was back in 2003, 2004, 2005, with Joe Budden going outside butt ass naked and all that stuff, 50 would have put that in a rhyme form. Nah, he just really stays away from the booth now and does more trolling and stuff. Hence why people felt 50 lost to Rick Ross, because while 50 was doing the pimp and curly stuff and taking baby mama shopping, Ross went to the booth, right? So they're at a Knicks basketball game. Fat Joe and 50 Cent, who at one time had issues, and if you lived that through that era, you know, they made their differences. For R.I.P. Chris Lighty, and they did a song called Free, Fat Joe and 50 Cent with DJ K Slay, and they squashed their beef and got together. Now, I would say after squashing their beef, if Fat Joe do be acting wild extra when it comes to 50, all of that just put some buddies. I'm glad he squashed the beef. But damn, my nigga, can you D-ride 50 any more than you do, brother? I mean, good Lord. 50 this, 50 that, my nigga, relax. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because I remember on the first episode, Fat Joe was asking Jadakiss, has any other podcasters reached out to you to say congratulations on your new venture and what you got going on? And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell you need? What you need other podcasters to send y'all a bouquet of flowers? What you want, a card? What you want, inauguration? I mean, what did you want, brother? Or I mean, what did you want? And then, this is rich nigga shit, obviously. Fat Joe goes into a story about, you know, how, you know, him and 50 he can't sit in the second row, and his experience got to be on the first row. I get all that nice. He's styling and profiling on niggas. We get it, right? And Joe Budden and 50 had issues, and Joe was sitting with his wifey and sitting behind 50. It just the whole conversation just sounded stupid to me. It just sounded dumb to me, man. You want somebody to congratulate you when you take a shot to the nigga and shit like that, you know? So, according to Fat Joe, sitting on a second row, anytime if you're sitting on the second row, they call that the Joe Budden seats. So if I'm sitting here and Fat Joe and 50 are right in front of me, it's called the Joe Budden seats, not the upper deck, just a row behind me, just a row. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life, Fat Joe. This is stupid. I mean, a man of your stature, you know, I mean, how old are you, brother? I mean, good Lord. What did you think was going to happen at Madison Square Garden? Did you really expect Joe Budden and 50 to squab it out in Madison Square Garden? Did you really think that was going to happen? I mean, brother, I mean, what did you want Joe Budden to do, Fat Joe? I mean, when you went to the VMA Awards and said you want to thank 50 Cent, the G Unit, for tight security, and 50 was walking around looking for y'all, we didn't see you, brother, so knock it off, my nigga. Knock it off, Joe. Just knock it off, bro. It just sounds ignorant and dumb to me. I mean, so because Joe Budden and his girl sat behind y'all, he should be ashamed of himself. According to Fat Joe, Joe Budden should feel a way about that. And asking why God put 50 Cent in front of Joe, he should feel a way. That's just... Joe, that logic just makes no sense to me, sir. And then he's like talking about, oh, you got to be careful because the enemy will come right in front of you. Like, this is just the most ignorant, dumbest shit ever known to man. Like, then he goes, I went to Babyface concert and 50 Cent was in front of me and I went to the same situation. Well, according to you, it could be the same situation because you said after the beef is when you went to Baby. Joe, man, just do me a favor, man. Stick to telling the stories. I hope you get Nas up there. Get somebody prominent up there, please, man. I know Jadakiss. Jadakiss looking at you like, yeah, you be capping and say a lot of weird shit, a lot of dumb shit. You can tell Jada didn't even want to have that kind of conversation. He looking at you like, bro, really? That's what we doing? Nah, is Joe Budden gonna respond to Fat Joe? He probably will. Joe will laugh his way out of the situation. I ain't knocking him for that though, because it's just a stupid conversation, man. But how long do you think Fat Joe and Jadakiss podcast is gonna last? Have you guys liked the episodes that you've seen so far? What do you want them to do? What do you want them to do moving forward? You know what I mean? Next time, y'all, it's your boy 3. 1.